Hello and welcome to Northeast Tonight, the show that decodes the region. I am Wasbir Hussain. Meghalaya Chief Minister Conrad Sangma has triggered a major debate by proposing the work permit idea for Bangladeshis as a means to deal with the problem of illegal migration. Sangma thinks it is important for Meghalaya to look south and boost trade and commerce with Bangladesh. He says once trade increases, it will lead to a lot of to and fro movement of Bangladeshis, and therefore it is important to devise a mechanism to keep track of foreigners. Conrad Sangma's proposal has been rejected by most organizations in Meghalaya and Assam who feel work permits may actually lead to more migration from Bangladesh. The issue, of course, is debatable.
1979. The All Assam Students Union or ASU detected names of a large number of suspected migrants from Bangladesh in the voters list for the Mongoldoe Lok Sabha constituency. The politics of citizenship had begun and continues in the Northeast ever since. 6 years later, after an unprecedented mass uprising, the ASU and the Union government signed an agreement in 1985 known popularly as the Assam Accord. It set 25 March 1971 as the cut-off date for detection and expulsion of illegal migrants. That means any migrant entering India after this date were to be detected and expelled, while all those who had come before this date are to be accepted as Indian citizens and allowed to stay on. The Assam Gana Parishad came to power in Assam in 1985 on the promise of freeing Assam from illegal Bangladeshis, but the number detected and expelled continues to be negligible till today, although parties like the Congress and the BJP have come to power in Assam subsequently. The fear of indigenous population being overwhelmed by the illegal migrants is a fear that is strong not only in Assam but in neighbouring Meghalaya as well, that shares borders with Bangladesh. This is one of the reasons why groups like the Khasi Students Union are pressing for the introduction of the inner line permit to restrict entry on outsiders in Meghalaya. Therefore, when Meghalaya's new Chief Minister Conrad Sangma met External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj and proposed the idea of work permits for Bangladeshi nationals as a means to deal with the problem of illegal migration, eyebrows were raised.
And in the discussion, we realized that infiltration and illegal immigration is an issue. And though we want economic relationship with Bangladesh, how do we address this issue? So that is where the concern is. So we want a mechanism in place. So that discussion has to take place. And as I said, since many other countries, like the developed countries like UK, Australia, US, they have this work permit system, as I said, where people who desire to work can go there. They get the benefits of everything except they're not citizens and except they can't vote. So I think looking at that model, in here also, people who would like to come and work will have to go through a systematic proper channel, register, ensure that they get their, the work permit done.
The issue is about economic development versus the infiltration issue. And I think we need to figure out how we can balance it and how we can check illegal infiltration. And in that, maybe yes, work permit. Some people say ILP, yeah, NRC. So there are different ideas people have. One of them is this.
The KSU and other political and civil society organizations in Meghalaya, including the allies of the ruling National People's Party, rejected the idea, saying work permits would encourage more migration from Bangladesh.
To compare between Dubai and Shillong, our is not a booming economy. It is not a booming economy. And for us, if we bring laborers from outside, we also have here an abundant supply of unskilled and semi-skilled laborers, not only in the state of Meghalaya but in the whole of India. So I think like it will create unemployment if people from Bangladesh, they obtain a work permit from the MHA to come and work as an unskilled or a semi-skilled laborer. So we would be losing jobs. So that even though there might be benefits in relating to ties between the Indian government and the Bangladeshi government, however, it would not be it would not help us.
But for the record, the work permit idea for Bangladeshi nationals was first mooted by BJP patriarch Atal Bihari Vajpayee when he was Prime Minister. The idea was apparently endorsed by another top BJP leader, L.K. Advani. Now, as Conrad Sangma draws flake for his idea, even from organizations like the ASU in Assam, the current BJP leadership does not seem to be altogether opposed to the proposal.
We cannot accept the perception of work permit for the illegal Bangladeshis in the state of Assam, because perception of the work permit, it is not feasible in Assam, and we cannot accept that perception because Assam cannot be the grazing ground for illegal Bangladeshis, either by work permit or by any other means.
Union Minister of State for Home Kiran Rijiju said Conrad Sangma must have come up with the idea after due consideration and that the matter would be examined.
The proposal being given by the Meghalaya Chief Minister, my friend Conrad Sangma, is a positive in one sense, but before accepting it, the entire mechanism must be made clear so that it doesn't have an adverse impact. External Affairs Ministry and Home Ministry need to sit together and discuss what is going to be the ramification. But the proposal is, I think, he has given with due consideration, but we'll have to assess it.
The issue, therefore, is set to remain a hot topic of debate in the days ahead.
All right, to discuss the subject, I am joined by former Assam Chief Minister Prafulla Kumar Mohanta, who had been a protagonist of the anti-foreigner movement in Assam. I also have ASU advisor Samujjal Bhattacharjee, the General Secretary of the Khasi Students Union, Donald Thaba, joins me from Shillong. Also in Shillong, I have Jamaino Mautho, the General Secretary of the United Democratic Party. From New Delhi, I am joined by Assam BJP MLA Shiladitya Deb, and of course at our studios in Guwahati, I have Congress spokesperson Bolin Bordoloi and well-known political commentator Dr. Akhil Ranjan Datta from Guwahati University. Dr. Samujjal Bhattacharjee, it seems that the proposal of work permit that has been mooted by Meghalaya Chief Minister Conrad Sangma has almost the approval of the current BJP government, because Mr. Kiren Rijiju has said that Conrad must have given this idea with a great deal of consideration.
See, we have great respect to the new dynamic Chief Minister of Meghalaya, but we beg to differ with his perception of issuing work permit, because the ground reality of Assam is something different. There was a history. There was Assam movement for this cause. More than 855 people have sacrificed their life. They became martyrs. So there is a long history, and the 3D is very clear. Since Assam movement, that is detection, deletion and deportation. And after the 6 long mass movement, the Assam Accord was signed, and it is very clearly stated that those who have entered up to 71, he may be Hindu, he may be Muslim, they can stay in Assam. But those who have entered after 71, he may be Hindu, he may be Muslim, they must be expelled, they must be deported.
But
so for whole of the country, for whole of the country, Assam had accepted the load up to 71. So we cannot take a single a foreigner as a burden to the state of Assam. And regarding the work permit for whom? Is there any scarcity in Assam? The workforce? There is no scarcity. So we cannot accept the perception
Dr.
of
Samujjal Bhattacharjee,
work permit in the state of
Dr.
Assam.
Samujjal Bhattacharjee, we are talking about the work permit idea mooted by the Meghalaya Chief Minister Conrad Sangma, and the BJP seems to be okay, almost okay with the idea. Do you think that will have an impact in Assam?
See, one thing is very clear. Through your show, we'd like to clarify our stand, and that we'd like to pass a very strong message to the central government and the state government of BJP-led government that in Assam, the vexed foreigners land problem must be solved as per Assam Accord. It's very clear. No step, any method which dilutes the spirit of the Assam Accord we won't accept. And we are rejecting the perception of issuing work permit. It's very clear. Rather, as per Assam Accord, we need constitutional safeguard for the indigenous people.
Right.
We need that. We need that. Since 85, in last 32 years, we are shouting for implementation of Assam Accord. Sealing the border, detain illegal foreigners, delete their name from the electoral, deport them, and give us constitutional safeguard. We need result out of Assam Accord.
Absolutely.
Work permit is not acceptable for the people of Assam.
Work permit is not acceptable for the people of Assam. Siladitya Deb, you know, Conrad Sangma's proposal, fine. I have no problem with Conrad Sangma's proposal. My question to you, Siladitya Deb, is that your leader, your central leaders like Kiren Rijiju has almost said that he is all right. It's a proposal given by Conrad Sangma with due consideration, and they are going to just talk to everybody. He almost endorsed the idea of work permit. What is your stand?
See, I'm very surprised about the move because what is the requirement for work permit? Work permit is required when we are short of manpower or we are short of skilled laborers or power. Now, this country with 130 crore population, and when Modi ji has already started the Skill India mission, we are going to have so many skilled people all around. So I don't find reasons to give work permits, and especially to the Bangladeshis, because if you have a work permit system in Meghalaya or Assam or Northeast, the first beneficiary would be the Bangladeshis. And I don't think the Bangladeshis are skilled laborers or skilled anywhere that they can come to India and work. So I don't have reasons to give work permit to them. Next thing is, since in Assam we have an issue of NRC and we are trying to detect the foreigners, suppose tomorrow you have about 40 or 50 lakh population which would be declared as foreigners or not finding their name in NRC. Will they be given work, and for what good reason? Because we want them to go out of this country, or we want to treat them as a third-class citizen. Why should we permit them to work here, snatch our jobs? Already we have unemployment issue.
Yes. Point noted. Mr. Siladitya Deb, that means what would you like to tell your party, government and the center? What is your message to Mr. Kiren Rijiju and other top leaders of your party? What would you like to tell them today?
Yeah, definitely to hold this issue at this moment. And somebody was commenting during your promo was running, I was hearing that they have work permit system in Europe and America. You can't compare Europe and America with India, because
that was
Europe
Conrad
and America,
Sangma.
they need manpower. Therefore, they take manpower from India and other countries.
That was Conrad Sangma.
Excess of work.
Yes, that was Conrad Sangma, the chief minister, who had said that work permit idea is in practice in European countries. That is what he said.
What work he is expecting from the Bangladeshis to take up in Meghalaya, that we have to find, because Meghalaya doesn't have too many factories or industries, and I don't know for what good reason they need so many work permits to be given, because I know that the Khasis are very, very hard-working people. The Khasis, Jaintiyas and the Garos, they are very hard-working people. They do their labor works, they do their construction work, they are in the roads for construction. And what is the requirement for Bangladeshis to come and take the work permit and do the job? And putting all the Khasis and Garos and the Jaintiyas to unemployment.
Siladitya, just hold on your thoughts. I will also take the, I'll come back to you. I'll take the views of Mr. Prafulla Kumar Mahanta. But in the meantime, Mr. Jamaino Mautho is the General Secretary of the UDP. Your party is an ally of the NPP-led government in Meghalaya. Mr. Jamaino, your party, the UDP, is an alliance partner of the NPP-led government. How serious is the illegal migration problem in Meghalaya?
Mr. Wasbir, the issue of illegal immigration, the issue of influx has been lingering in the state now for the last 3 to 4 decades.
Right.
And because of this issue, we find, intermittent upheavals and agitations all the time erupted from time to time in the state of Meghalaya. But till date, I feel that this issue, this burning issue, has not been addressed appropriately.
Yes.
This is what people of the state has been demanding all along, and different pressure groups and interest groups in the state of Meghalaya has been crying hoarse of the issue of illegal immigration for decades altogether. But till now, no proper mechanism has been there to check the influx of illegal immigrants from across the state or across the border.
Right. Right. I'll come back to you, Mr. Jamaino, to ask you whether, you consider this work permit idea as a mechanism to resolve the Bangladeshi issue. Can we have all our panelists on the screen? In the meantime, let me go to Donald Thaba, the General Secretary of the KSU. Can we have our panelists, all of them on the screen, please? Donald Thaba, the General Secretary of the Khasi Students Union. Donald, what do you think? Suddenly, the new Chief Minister has come up with this idea of a work permit to resolve the, as he said, the illegal migration issue. What is your stand, the KSU stand?
You see, illegal immigration has been a huge problem for the Khasi people. We are a microscopic community. We're numbering around 12 lakhs. And illegal immigration has been in the state for decades, as Sir Jamaino had said. So, our union, our major objective, the major objective of our union is to fight illegal immigration, which out here we term it as influx. And the issue of granting work permits, national work permits to Bangladeshi is a big no from our union. You see, because we know that India do issue work permits to expatriates, people from outside of India who wants to work in India. But the employment visas or work permits are issued only to those people who are from the skilled sector.
Right, right.
Those who are from the skilled sector, like consultants.
Got your point.
Those who are engaged in medical
give work permits to only skilled people. Jamaino, hold your thoughts.
So you see,
sorry, that is like Donald. Donald, please hold your thoughts. I will come back to you.
No. I'm not saying that we should give a work permit to Bangladeshi.
Yeah. No work permit to Bangladeshis and give work permit to only skilled people. That's what Donald Thaba, the General Secretary of the KSU, is saying. Welcome, Mr. Prafulla Kumar Mahanta, former Chief Minister, top leader of the Assam Gana Parishad, one of the signatories of the Assam Accord. Mr. Prafulla Kumar Mahanta, 35 years after the Assam Accord is signed, we are still talking about the illegal migration issue. And suddenly, the new Chief Minister of Meghalaya has come up with this work permit idea. How do you look at this work permit idea? Do you think it is going to solve the problem, or do you think it is going to complicate the problem?
It will be going to complicate the problem, because this type of proposal was thrown at the time of the when L.K. Advani was the Deputy Prime Minister and in charge of the Home. That time also this type of proposal was thrown to us, and we opposes it. Because if you allow the work permit to the Bangladeshi people, they may help they may take the help of this permit, and they may enter Assam or Northeast region, and they'll be staying here. Because still now, a lot of people who entered Assam or Northeast from Bangladesh with a valid passport and visa, they are not going return to their own land.
Yes.
And our administration also failed to find out them. Therefore, if you allow the work permit to these type of people, then the local people will become minority, and they will create more complicated issues for
Absolutely.
entire country.
Absolutely.
And at the time when the deputy prime minister deliberated with us, then he was convinced and he gave up the idea. Now I don't know how this newly they again they put it to the central government.
Now, Mr. Mohanta, you are a veteran political leader. Now, my question to you, your party, the AGP, is also an alliance partner of the BJP in Assam. What are you going to tell the center today? What is your advice to the NDA government at the center? What will be your advice to the Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, for example?
Yes, our request to the central government or that this type of system should not be imposed in Assam or Northeast region. Then work permit should not be allowed to the Bangladeshi people to enter our country, India.
Right. That is a very clear-cut statement coming in from Prafulla Kumar Mohanto, the AGP leader. Bolin Bodlo, you are representing the Congress party. You have always been faced with this allegation for the last 30 years that the Congress is the party which has been encouraging this migration and so on. I'm using the term allegation. So what is your response? How do you look at this work permit idea?
Actually, if you are aware, during Advani's time, Congress was the party who were opposed to this road permit. And
work permit.
Yes, work permit, sorry. Work permit. And now at the moment what happened, we totally oppose the work permit as far the North is concerned, particularly Meghalaya. The reason is being, you see, Northeast has got a massive unemployment problem. So over 2 crores of people they have been unemployed, and particularly in Assam about 30 lakhs or so. Despite of Mr. Modi's assurance on this issue, nothing has been done. So from the Congress, what we feel that supposing we have the interstate transfer all the people, because we have got a lot of unemployment here in Assam.
So you are basically saying, Mr. Bolin Bodlo, is that if you give work permit in Meghalaya, those people may come over to Assam as well,
yes,
or will be free to go anywhere.
Yes.
Is that the point you are trying to make?
Yes.
Absolutely. That is also a very clear-cut and the Congress opposing. Now, before I come for the second round of deliberations, we have Mr. Akhil Ranjan Datta. You have written a very, very exhaustive article in the Economic and Political Weekly only recently, where you argue that the work permit idea is actually not bad after all. It is a workable idea. That's what you were saying. You are defending the work permit idea, Akhil Ranjan Datta.
But before that, let me clear my position. It's a very critical moment. If you look at my article in EPW, I have exposed the conspiracy being that the government has been indulging in preparing the NRC, and also in the form of floating this citizenship amendment bill and so. So my basic concern in the whole article has been why NRC has not been prepared on time and why the central government has been creating a lot of hindrances.
Yeah.
I also looked at the issue of the hindrances being created by the government of India towards the implementation of Assam Accord by tabling a bill for the amendment of Citizenship Act.
True.
But in the long run, my proposition has been, if the NRC is being prepared today, if a number of people are being detected as foreigner, what will be the future of these people? On that particular point, I said that probably in the long run, giving work permit has to be considered, because right at the moment, if you look at India-Bangladesh relationship, India is not going to pressurize the Bangladesh government for extradition treaty, for the deportation or for taking back
Yes.
the Bangladeshis, and because of the China's emergence as a very strong economic force in South Asia, India is not going to
With
push
a
ahead.
footprint in every country, including Bangladesh.
But it is conditioned by.
Yeah.
My proposition, unless and
Yeah,
until
well, I
you
will-
withdraw this citizenship amendment bill, and unless and until
right,
you complete the NRC process, you cannot talk about this work permit
Absolutely.
issue.
We will elaborate on this, Dr. Akhil Ranjan Datta. Dr. Samujjal Bhattacharjee, you know, Conrad Sangma has said Assam, they are using the NRC to detect foreign nationals. Some of the northeastern states are having the Ilanile permit. Why can't we have work permit as one of the mechanisms to detect foreign nationals? That is what Conrad Sangma is saying. I want you to comment on what Conrad Sangma's idea basically.
See, the Assam Accord is very clear on these points. Detect the illegal foreigner as per law of this country, delete their name from the electoral and deport them. This is very clear. And it's a commitment in the Assam Accord. And there was 22 accord agreement with the Bangladesh government by the present Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Why not a single word is there regarding the deportation of illegal Bangladeshis from Assam? Somebody may ask, is it possible? But I would like to ask, as per Assam Accord, we have accepted the burden up to 71. And in lieu of that, there is a commitment for constitutional safeguard. Where is the safeguard? So beyond 71, we cannot accept any illegal Bangladeshi, and we cannot accept the perception of that work permit. And the question is there any scarcity of manpower in Assam?
That
No.
is what other panelists
On the
are also
other hand,
asking.
on the other hand, the process of updating NRC is on, as per the directive and supervision of the Supreme Court. This is one of the process. But the main process will be detection, deletion, and deportation as per the act of the country.
Right.
And see.
Right. Now, I'll have to go for a break. Dr. Samujjal Bhattacharjee.
Whether the government of India can or cannot, because Supreme Court had directed the government of India to have a dialogue with Bangladesh government to streamline the process of deportation of illegal Bangladesh.
Very quickly, I have to go for a break, but very quickly, Mr. Prafulla Mohanta. I'll come back to Prafulla Mohanta there. We'll go for a short break, but stay on, don't go away. I'll continue with this very interesting conversation. Welcome back. Mr. Prafulla Kumar Mohanta, you know, Assam is having the NRC. Some other states in the northeast, they use the inner line regulations, and therefore, Mr. Conrad Sangma, the Chief Minister of Meghalaya, is saying, why can't we have work permit? He is just equating that. He is looking at the work permit as one of the instruments to detect and check illegal migration or keep track of foreigners. Do you think it is a workable proposition? Do you think it is workable? Do you think it is a good idea? Okay, Prafulla Mohanta is not ready. May I ask this question basically to Donald? Donald Thaba, I mean, you know, the Conrad Sangma's argument, Donald, is that if Assam can have NRC, we are trying to have work permits as an instrument to keep track of foreign nationals. Do you think the NRC kind of a thing should be done in Meghalaya as well?
You see, I will not talk about NRC. First, from 2013, we have been demanding ILP. ILP is the only mechanism that can combat that can curb influx. Apart from that also, we are in the process of dialogue with the government regarding the implementation of effective mechanisms such as the entry and exit points that we are still discussing with the government. So work permit, how can issuing work permit protects the indigenous community? Instead, it will create unemployment. And we have the problem of detection here in Meghalaya also. An MP from Bangladesh, a former MP, a spokesman of the opposition, suddenly disappears from Bangladesh and he reappears after 2 months in the capital city of Meghalaya.
Yeah, nobody knows.
An influential person from Bangladesh can come undetected into the capital city
Absolutely.
of Meghalaya.
That
What
is
about
the
other
gravity
people?
of the situation.
Nobody knows.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that is the problem. If you
I
give
will,
work
I will,
permit-
I will also go to Jamaino, and I will go to Siladitya Deb in Delhi. But Mr. Prafulla Kumar Mohanto, you know, the basic issue, why are we still talking about the illegal migration issue 35 years after you have signed the Assam Accord? 35 years after you have signed the Assam Accord, there seems to be no mechanism. Of course, talk about Assam, we are dealing with the NRC. Hopefully, a proper NRC will come out in a couple of months' time. But the border is not yet sealed, and here we are talking about work permit. One of the responsible chief ministers of the region is talking about work permit.
This is a very dangerous proposal, and I told you that during the period of the deputy, when Deputy Prime Minister was the L.K. Advaniji, that time also this proposal was mooted, but we oppose it. Suppose by taking the work permit, somebody entered this area, and if they married here, then what will be the future of the sons and daughter? They will become the Indian citizen.
Yes.
On the other hand, they will be economically, the local people will be harassed, and therefore it should not be mooted. And we ask the central government not to go on this line. Maybe Colonel Changma, he may be given the proposal due to other regions in Meghalaya, but you may know that before few years, the Bangladeshi deported all the Meghalaya's government deported all the Bangladeshi who were residing in the Meghalaya,
Right.
and they took shelter in Assam, in
Absolutely.
Bornihat and Jorabat from this area. And therefore, it is a very dangerous proposal for Assam within Northeast and outside also.
Very dangerous. Mr. Prafulla Mohanto, stay on. I will also go to Siladitya Deb now. But before that, Mr. Jamaino Mauto, as a means to solve the influx, as a means to resolve the illegal migration issue, that is the term, that is the word used by your Chief Minister, Conrad Sangma. He said that work permits should be given. Are you looking at this as a mechanism to solve the problem? Mr. Jamaino.
See, Chief Minister has made this statement because he is looking at the entire state of Meghalaya in the northeast from a different perspective altogether. Because if you remember, we have been debating about the development of the northeast now for so many years. We talk about look east policy, we talk about look south policy, we talk about the problems of shortage of laborers in the northeastern region, and so on and so forth, which has really hampered the development of the northeastern region and also of the state of Meghalaya.
Yeah.
Maybe the Chief Minister is looking at it from a different perspective, but then, you know, Chief Minister is in the seat of the government now for just a month only,
You are
and any
being very
statements given
diplomatic.
from his side is always
Is this coalition
being
pressure?
reacted from different quarters. But I hope that, you know, this will provoke the thoughts of like-minded people
Yeah.
to discuss and deliberate as to how to solve this issue which has plagued the state of Meghalaya and the northeastern region
Right.
for so long.
Right.
So
Now, I
when
will
we
go
talk
to-
about the issue of illegal immigration, I don't know whether this has a bearing or a connection as far as issuing of, giving, a license,
Right.
yeah, or work or permit to workers from across the,
Yes. Yes.
from Bangladesh.
I'll go to.
So
I
I
would
don't
like
know
to go
whether
to
this
Samujjal
has a bearing or
Bhattacharjee.
not when we talk about the issue of illegal immigration.
Yes.
Because like I said, if you look at it from a different angle, for instance, when we talk about the northeastern region and when we talk about the state of Meghalaya, which is a landlocked state, so we find that there are all kinds of problems
Absolutely,
as far
absolutely.
as getting
Right. I get
laborers
your
is
point. I
concerned
get your point.
in the state of
Jamaino.
Meghalaya. And
I get your point, Jamaino. Dr. Samujjal Bhattacharjee, 1985, your organization signed the Assam Accord. We are still talking about the politics of citizenship. We are still talking about illegal migrants being in the voters list. Now, the latest we are talking about the NRC. NRC, there is also lots of controversies within the NRC. People are using wrong legacy data. There are cases of forgery. Are you hopeful, as the leader of the All Assam Students Union today, are you hopeful that we are going to get a correct National Register of Citizens, which is so very important for Assam?
Yeah, before coming to that point, I'd like to say that the issue raised by Khasi Students Union, that is introduction of IPL, we are supporting the issue of Khasi Students Union because ASU is also raising the same issue, IPL. And on behalf of Northeast Student Organization also, NASO is also demanding IPL, introduction of IPL in Northeast. Now coming to that, KSU and ASU, we are working together for solution of the permanent solution of this vast foreign national problem under the guidance of NASO. Now regarding that NRC, yes, we are hopeful, and under the decision of updating NRC was taken as per Assam Accord, and it is because of the Supreme Court monitoring we are having this NRC. The first draft is out. The other verification process is on. Only because of the verification of monitoring of the Supreme Court of India, and we are constantly saying that the illegal Bangladeshis, they are trying to enroll their name in the updated NRC by giving false document, and it is not proved. And these illegal Bangladeshis, they are trying hard, and we have formed faith on the officials and employees. They are working very hard. At the same time, we would like to appeal to the politicians who had given commitment to the people of Assam before election. They will protect the interests of the indigenous people of Assam. They should take a special initiative,
right,
as per the directive of the Supreme Court, so that no illegal Bangladeshi name can enter in the updated NRC.
Samujjal Bhattacharjee, have you given us a breaking news today? I mean, when you said that we support ILP in the Northeast, are you also including Assam in the ambit of the ILP? Are you also demanding ILP for Assam?
Yes, it is not a breaking news. We had demanding after signing Assam Accord, because Meghalaya, Assam, we don't have IPL, and Manipur, we don't have IPL. So on behalf of NASO, we are demanding that IPL should be introduced throughout the Northeast region.
IPL should be inner line permit. ILP should be introduced. Inner line permit should be introduced in all the states of the Northeast. That is what Dr. Samujjal Bhattacharjee has said. I mean, I think you are renewing your demand there. We had heard about it earlier, but we haven't heard about it for a long time. It's a critical point that you are making today. I'll come back to you. Dr. Samujjal Bhattacharjee. Siladitya Deb, I will come back to my panelist in the studio. Okay, Akhil Ranjan Datta, I mean, you have seen the entire bunch of panelists, all very, very eminent people. All very eminent people in their own organizations and socially and politically. Now, everyone is opposed to the work permit idea. Now, in simplistic terms, Dr. Akhil Ranjan Datta, how do you think this mechanism is going to work?
See, we need to understand why all these people are opposing the work permit. Had the central government been very sincere in detecting the foreigners and deleting the names of the foreigners from the electoral rolls, one. Secondly, if the central government had been very sincere in updating the NRC, if the central government had been very sincere in granting constitutional safeguards to the people of Assam as mandated by Assam Accord, and if the central government had not floated the very idea of bringing amendment to the Citizenship Act and thereby trying to give citizenship to Bangladeshi Hindus, probably the work permit issue wouldn't have provoked this kind of controversies. Remember that the timing is very, very critical. When the people of Assam has been protesting against the amendment of the Citizenship Act, when the people of Assam has been struggling to get a very corrected, NRC for the people of Assam or citizens living in Assam, at this critical time when central government has failed to show its sincerity, to exhibit its commitment, therefore at such a crucial time when you propose that this work permit will be given, and this has been proposed by this, so therefore this provocation is there. But my proposition, if you look at my EPW article, I'm just telling you.
Straight to the point.
My point is this. You cannot keep the detected foreigners in the detention camp for all time to come.
Absolutely, you cannot
for all
keep-
time to come.
That is
You
the
have to
point. How will you
explore-
have to have a mechanism
exactly,
to deal
you
with them?
Exactly. That
You
was, at this
detected
critical
Bangladeshis,
yes.
you cannot keep in detention center for all times to come. So that is the critical point. Siladitya Deb, when we are discussing the broad issue relating out of the, I'll come to you, Mr. Bolin Bodoloy. Mr. Siladitya Deb, you know, when the Conrad Sangma is giving this work permit idea, in Assam, we are grappling with the NRC issue. We are trying hard, the state government authorities are trying hard to come up with a correct national register of citizens. But you are a person, Siladitya Deb, you have been skeptical about the whole veracity of the NRC. What is your argument?
See, the NRC, as I said before, is basically related with papers. You have to show certain documents and prove yourself to be Indian citizen, and thereafter your name will appear in the NRC. If you can't show those documents, then you are going to be deleted from the NRC and you will be treated as a foreigner. Now the thing is, who has those papers? Does the real Indian have all those documents to prove himself as Indian? Will the Tamil, will the Rajasthani, will the UPite, will the Delhiite, will be able to show documents to prove that they are Indian citizens since 1950 or 1947 or 1964 or 71? It will be difficult. Therefore, actually the foreigners who have come to our country, have settled in places like Assam, they have already accumulated their requirements, their papers, and they will be successful to have their names in the NRC.
Are you questioning the NRC exercise? Are you questioning the competence of the authorities? Are you questioning the sincerity of the authorities? Or, I mean, you mean to say that there is a lot of forgery going on? That's also you are hinting at.
See, when the foreigner comes to Assam, he is getting papers naturally. How? It has to be forged. Many of these foreigners try to link up with other families that they are from that particular
my question
origin
to
or family.
Siladitya, my question to you.
Secondly,
please hold on, Siladitya. My question to you.
Yeah.
You have your own party government in the center for the last 2 years. So, have you raised this in the government forum? Have you raised this in the party forum?
see, this is not a matter to be discussed only in the party forum or the government. The government is very sincere about NRC. We really want that the Bangladeshis should leave this place. The NRC should be correct and a fair list is brought. But the thing is, when you talk of papers, when papers will speak for NRC, the foreigners have already made forged papers. They have got their legacy data, fake legacy data.
That is
so
a very
a question
serious
of verification, and I believe our officials well.
Right. That is, I'll come to you, Samujal Bhattacharjee, right now. But Bolin Bodoloy, that's a very serious allegation made by the BJP MLA, very vocal BJP MLA, Mr. Siladitya Deb, that the forgery is going on. So this is a very serious matter.
I don't know really what he was talking about, the forgery matter. But as far as the NRC is concerned, the government, they're trying their best to make sure that the correct information comes through. Earlier I was talking about the unemployment.
Yeah.
You see what happened in case Meghalaya government goes ahead along with the work permit idea, that will be really boomerang on their employment policies. So therefore, what we thought, say we have got a lot of talented boys and girls in Assam or all over Northeast, because we want to develop Northeast and we want to make it a vibrant
So basically you are saying that local unemployed youth should be somehow, mechanisms should be developed to give them employment.
Yeah, not only Assam, it can be interstate, it can be entire Northeast.
All across the Northeast. But Dr. Samujal Bhattacharjee, what Siladitya Deb, being a MLA from the ruling party, is saying that this is a matter that cannot be ignored, isn't it?
So the Honorable MLA of Assam is Legislative Assembly. They have their own government in center and state. If he have any apprehension, so on behalf of the government, they should approach to the Supreme Court. RGI is, whose RGI is this? Under Home Ministry, it is under central government. Supreme Court is monitoring. If some lacunas they are there for implementing the implementation of this whole process, it is their government. So they should have their foolproof mechanism on behalf of the government. They should not confuse the people of Assam, because people of Assam want a correct NRC which do not have any name of illegal Bangladeshis. Because before election, these people, these honorable MLAs and other leaders, they have given commitment to the people of Assam that the right of the indigenous people will be protected. It is a second Saraighat fight. So they should transform into the action, not by words. We need result. We need a result that is a Bangladeshi name-free correct NRC. So they should not confuse. They should not confuse the people. They should approach their own government in the state and central, and they should transform into the result. And one more point, Wasbir Sahab, one more thing. We are discussing about the post-71 to giving work permit. But we have accepted the burden up to 71, Hindus and Muslims. In lieu of that, there is a commitment for constitutional safeguard. Where is the safeguard? Without getting safeguard, we cannot discuss about all these issues. Beyond 71, we are not ready to discuss anything.
Yes, Siladitya, you are saying something. Siladitya Deb. Yes, you wanted to say something.
Yeah. I just wanted to ask Samujjalda one question. Is he very about the verification process and the papers being submitted by the section of doubtful citizens in the name of NRC? Because he's putting the entire blame on the MLAs and the government. But is he happy about the process? The entire process is okay for him.
Samujjal Bhattacharya, please respond.
See, this modality is approved by the government of India, number one. And we are saying from the first day that illegal Bangladeshis, they are trying to enroll their name in the updated NRC by giving false document. We are raising this issue continuously. And it is the duty of the government, the machinery, to detect them, to arrest them. Yes, some of them are arrested. I am not blaming the MLAs. But my submission to the MLA, the Siladitya Sahab, because you had given us a commitment that you will protect the identity of indigenous people. It is your government. In state, it is your government. In central,
Absolutely,
it is your government.
It is their government.
RGI is under your home ministry. And Supreme Court is monitoring. And if you have anything in your mind, if your feeling is not implemented by the state government and central government, Supreme Court is there. Why you are not raising this in the Supreme Court?
You wanted to say something?
Three forums are there. Central government, state government and Supreme Court.
Carry on.
I think what Siladitya Deb has proposed is very, I think, it's very unfortunate, because it also exposes his own government. Now, the central government, this BJP-led central government has been there for last 4 years, more than 4 years now, and it is under this government that NRC process is going on. Now, there will be lot of lacunas may be there, but looking at some lacunas, if you want to reject the whole NRC, there is a design behind. The design it.
But you cannot. But nobody is talking about rejecting the whole NRC.
No. He virtually is rejecting the whole NRC.
No,
process.
Siladitya, are you rejecting the whole NRC process? Are you rejecting the entire NRC? That's what Akhilanjan Datta is suggesting.
This is. Yeah, some intellectual groups are always pointing fingers this way or the other way, but we are very sincere about the NRC. What we are speaking with, this is what the question I asked Jalda also, that whether are you happy about all the documentation being received? He says no. So that is what I am also saying, that we are not satisfied. And see, it is the Supreme Court's decision. They have to understand which documentation they should accept and which documentation they should not accept.
Right.
But those modalities have been decided in consultation with the government. It is not being decided by ASU or, for that matter, the ethnic organizations. It is being decided by Registrar General of India in consultation
it was the
with
previous
the
government.
I will come to Donald.
And at this critical point, if you are telling, are you satisfied with the documents being provided
yes,
for
Samujjal
NRC?
Bhattacharya.
I think you are questioning your own government.
Samujjal Bhattacharya, yes.
Yeah, the modality, regarding modality, it was discussed with ASU and 28 ethnic body. It was approved by the Assam government and central government.
Yes, yes.
And the whole process is monitored by Supreme Court.
Yes.
We are saying that the illegal Bangladeshis, they are trying hard to enroll their name by giving false document. Now the officials and the employees involved in NRC, they are trying hard under the leadership of Pratik Hazela, the chief coordinator. So it is the duty of the state government to look it so that no illegal Bangladeshi can enroll their name in the updated NRC by giving false document.
Correct. Correct. I'll quickly go to Donald Thaba.
MLA, Siladitya Deb,
Yeah.
to take effective step so that no illegal Bangladeshi can enroll their name in the updated NRC.
Yes, absolutely. I will quickly go to Donald Thaba. Donald, I mean, at the end of the day, we are talking about whether it is NRC, whether it is work permit, whether, as you are demanding, the inner line permit. Ultimately, basically, why are we talking about all these things? We are talking about all these things because the issue of illegal migration continues to be a live issue in the northeastern region, particularly in states like Assam and Meghalaya. So who is responsible for this? We don't have a sealed border as yet. We don't even have the fully fenced border after so long.
You see, the Chief Minister is talking about work permit to be issued to Bangladeshi.
Yeah.
At a time when the country of India is trying to fence the entire Indo-Bangla border. So illegal immigration is a big issue. It differs from region to region. You see, illegal immigrants have entered Meghalaya either from Bangladesh. They even entered from Assam. In Assam, the state of Assam, in majority of the states, the illegal immigrants outnumbered the indigenous communities. And what do? And even in village councils, they control the village councils. They issue documents to people coming from Bangladesh, and these people with those documents, registering them as citizens of Assam, they came to Meghalaya. They said we are from Dhrubi, Barpeta, from Karimganj. They came into Meghalaya and they registered themselves and they won works. They got jobs. That is a huge problem for us. That's why we want ILP out here in Meghalaya. And the more laws to combat influx, the better it will be for us. Not only for the people of Meghalaya, but for the entire northeast region. I believe that every indigenous community, whether it be in Tripura, Meghalaya, Assam, Mizoram, Nagaland, Manipur, all of them have their rights. Have the rights to demand for their own land rights, so that they can be, the demography in their region will not be changed. They will not become minorities within their own land, as had happened to Tripura, and as we can see the scenario at what had happened in Assam.
Now, this brings me to the question. I'll have to ask this question to Siladitya Deb. Siladitya, I mean, the idea of Mr. Conrad Sangma's idea of work permit, Siladitya, that's virtually supported by Mr. Kiren Rijiju. When he was asked, he said Conrad Sangma must have given a lot of consideration to this idea. So it seems okay. So he almost supported the idea of work permit. So if there is work permit in Meghalaya, there will be demand for work permit in other states, and there can be serious implications in a state like Assam.
Yeah, in what context Kiren Rijiju has spoken, I don't know. But since Meghalaya is a 6th schedule state, probably they have their own safeguards, which we don't have in Assam. Secondly, many people, many intellectual groups have said that once NRC is out and you have a sizable number of people whose name doesn't figure out in NRC, so they will be treated as foreigners. So what solution will be given to that particular situation? And in that situation, somebody was saying about work permit. My point is, if he's a foreigner, how can we provide him work permit and allow him freely to go and work here and there? Today he's in Assam, tomorrow he'll go back, go to West Bengal, Delhi, Kerala, or any other place. So therefore, the people who will be detected in the NRC as foreigners, after getting the work permit, they will just migrate to other states, and after probably 5 years or 10 years, they will find citizenship in those states.
Exactly.
So it will not solve the problem of the country.
Exactly. Dr. Samujjal Bhattacharjee, hold your thoughts. Dr. Samujjal Bhattacharjee, basically this is very true, isn't it? In any of the neighboring states, we cannot afford to have work permit because Akhil Ranjan Datta will have a different perspective, I'm sure about it. I will take his opinion. Dr. Samujjal Bhattacharjee, if we have work permit in one state, people can get these permits and they are free to travel all over the country.
See, forget about work permit. Here in Assam, the detected illegal Bangladeshis are vanished. The government of India and government of Assam has failed to detect that detected Bangladeshis. Now it's just visualize. If you grant work permit, what will be the fate of the people of Assam and other parts of the northeastern region? So this perception is not at all acceptable for Northeast. We have great regard to the Honorable Chief Minister, new Chief Minister of Meghalaya, but at the same time, we'd like to appeal to all the Honorable Chief Ministers of Northeast to work together to detect, delete and deport all illegal Bangladeshis from the soil of Northeast and give constitutional safeguard to all the indigenous people residing in Northeast.
But Mr. Samujjal Bhattacharjee, suppose even if you detect Bangladeshis, you will keep them in a detention center, but as Akhil Ranjan Datta said, you cannot keep them in the detention center forever. There has to be a mechanism, there has to be an agreement between the government of India and the government of Bangladesh to actually receive and take the declared illegal migrants through a certain mechanism, isn't it?
Right. I do agree. And so Supreme Court has said, Supreme Court directs the government of India to have a dialogue with Bangladesh government to streamline the process of deportation of illegal Bangladeshi. So it's a duty of the government of India to have a treaty with the Bangladesh government. So we cannot compromise with the identity of the indigenous people. So I'm repeatedly saying Assam Accord is there in Assam. Post 71, why should we discuss? Because there is a commitment to deport them. Pre 71, there is a commitment. On behalf of the country, we have accepted the burden up to 70 on Hindus and Muslims. In lieu of that, there is a commitment for constitutional safeguard. Right. Where is this safeguard? In the last 32 years, we are not having safeguard. So we must have that constitutional safeguard. Beyond 70, we cannot.
No doubt about that.
The government of India must have a treaty with the Bangladesh government.
But what is the role? What is the role of the Assam government then?
Yes, the government of Assam must initiate. Because there is a commitment before election that they will protect the identity of the indigenous people. And they told the people of Assam that it is second Saraighat fight. So what is the meaning? It is not to protect the interests of illegal Bangladeshi. It is to protect the identity of the indigenous people of Assam.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We'll go for a short break now, but when I come back, I shall go straight to Mr. Prafulla Kumar Mohanto, the former Chief Minister of Assam. Stay on, don't go away. Welcome back. Mr. Prafulla Kumar Mohanto, do you think the centre is actually supporting the idea of a work permit? Do you somewhere think that it is the central government who wants to, as you have yourself said, that this work permit idea was first mooted by Prime Minister Vajpayee and endorsed by the then Deputy Prime Minister, Mr. L.K. Advani?
Yes, first they mooted it, and when we opposed it, the discussion was taken place, and they accepted it. Therefore, probably through backdoor, this proposal again come, though this is submitted by the Honorable Chief Minister of the Meghalaya, but I think that it's going to create a lot of problem for not only Northeast, especially for Assam and other parts of the country also. Selector legally raised the point that if by the help of the work permit somebody entered in India, then he may get the right to acquire the Indian citizenship, because he may migrated from not only Meghalaya, from Meghalaya to Assam, Assam to other parts of the country, then he may claim for Indian citizenship. Therefore, this proposal is a very dangerous proposal for entire Northeast, and it will be going to affect the Assam Accord also. And I think that Government of India should not be considered this proposal, and they must
Very
ready to detect, delete and deport the illegal migrants from our country. But unfortunately, till today, Government of India not raised this point to the Bangladesh government. Therefore, discussion of the both the countries is necessary to deport the illegal migrants from Assam.
Very clearly, Mr. Prafulla Kumar Mahanta, you seem to be absolutely clear in your stand. Now, my question to you is, what about the AGP, considering that you are an alliance partner of the government in Assam, are you going to formally take up the matter? See, although it is not the Assam Chief Minister, it is the Meghalaya Chief Minister who has raised this or come up with this proposal, but it can have a serious impact in Assam. Therefore, is the AGP going to take up this matter?
Yes, certainly. Our party have taken a decision a few years back, and it may be renewed again.
Absolutely.
Because this proposal is not a new proposal. That proposal was mooted by the during Wasbir times when he was the Prime Minister, and we opposes it at that time also. And our party also opposes it. Therefore, I think that it may be renewed again. And this, if this proposal was going to accepted by the central government, then it will be very dangerous.
Right.
It may create very dangerous situation for
I will go to Jamaino Mautho in Shillong, but before that, very quickly, Siladitya Deb, you have heard Mr. Prafulla Kumar Mahanta saying that it's a very dangerous proposal, and the AGP had earlier opposed when it was first mooted several years ago, and now the AGP will oppose again. But as a responsible MLA, as someone who has been raising his voice on this issue, what will be your stand? Are you also going to tell your government in Assam to somehow intervene and prevent this idea from taking shape?
See, our issue is that we have the NRC and we have a sizable number of people declared as foreigner, how we handle them. So I think that the unique concept of Aadhaar, where you have a unique system of detecting a person, the Aadhaar system should be linked to your voter list, the Aadhaar system should be linked to the passport, the Aadhaar system should be linked with bank accounts and everything.
So
therefore,
you have so much of
suppose we
confidence
detect
in
a foreigner
Aadhaar.
in Assam, even if he
Siladitya,
runs away to Kerala,
you have so much of confidence in the
See,
Aadhaar,
once
but the
in-
entire Aadhaar
Yeah, I
data
have.
is leaked.
There can be forgery in other also.
see, I'll tell you one thing. I think technology, I don't know about the technology part, but if the technology is good and it can be improved, there has to be a mechanism to detect a person anywhere in the country. There has to be a centralized system. If somebody is detected as a foreigner in Assam, he should also be detected as a foreigner in Kerala.
Right.
So that the system should be developed in such a manner. Because we don't have a system where we can push these people to Bangladesh
Right.
or in any other country.
True.
So in such a situation, we have to take the help of technology so that we can save our country.
Right. Just hold on, Akhil. AGP leader, Mr. Prafulla Kumar Mahanta, the former chief minister, very, very clearly said the AGP is opposed to this idea of work permit, and they're going to take up this matter as and when it is necessary. Mr. Jamaino Mautho, what is the, I want to know very clearly whether the UDP is, your party is supporting the idea, because AGP is also an alliance partner, don't forget, of the BJP, but AGP has its own stand. But UDP is also an alliance partner of the NPP in Meghalaya, where BJP is also an ally. Now, what is your clear stand, Mr. Jamaino?
No, I don't think so. See, we are not against people coming to work in the state of Meghalaya. If it is for the development of the state, why should we be against development? But the thing is that what we are seeing is that there has to be a proper regulation. You know, there has to be a proper regulation. People can come in, they can work, they can go back again. And you know, if we have shortage of laborers here in the state of Meghalaya, it will really hamper economic development in the you know, in the long run. Now, from what I learned, that many of the laborers from this part of the country also has gone to other parts of India, like to southern India, because a lot of construction work is going on. Now, suppose if there's a migration of laborers from this part of the country to other parts, I think it will affect, the development of development in the state and of the region. But then we need to be also sensitive of the fact that people have been talking about their protection.
Right.
Now we have about so many different small communities living in the northeastern region, and if we talk about the tribal population, which constitutes just a small fraction, we also need to think in terms, when we talk about the question of identity, when we talk about the question of self-preservation and so on and so forth, because these are intricately linked.
I'll quickly go to Donald
when
Thaba.
we talk about the issue of,
Yeah, I'll quickly go to Donald Thaba. Donald, Mr. Jamaino Mouthop, the UDP is saying that just because people from Meghalaya are going out for work, there is a vacuum, and if this vacuum filled up by the people from Bangladesh, that is the impression I got. I don't know whether he meant that. What do you think? Are you convinced with this argument? Donald?
That depends. You see, people are migrating to other states are mostly professionals. The major reason that they are hello?
Yeah.
Hello. The reason that they are migrating to other states is because jobs are not available out here in our state. However, if we look at the unskilled sector, we have a huge chunk of unemployed youths in the unskilled sectors. So if Bangladeshis come and steal away all those jobs, then where will we go? Will we go to Bangladesh and work?
Absolutely. That is the point which you made, Bolin Bodler. I mean, it's an issue of employment at the end of the day. Bolin Bodler.
Yeah, I was trying to emphasize on the employment. You see, like Assam or even the whole of Northeast, we have got an acute problem of unemployment. So therefore, if the work permit is granted or been given to Meghalaya or Northeast, what is going to happen? Our unemployment will really go up, and we'll have a lot of problems. And secondly, what if we admit the work permit? I can assure you there will be a serious threat to people here, and basically for the indigenous
serious
identity.
Threat. And the indigenous identity. Akhil Ranjan Datta. So this is a very complex issue, isn't it now?
Before I answer this question, let me ask a question to Silarito Deb. While he is opposing this work permit to illegal Bangladeshis and all, what is his own position on Citizenship Amendment Bill? Because Citizenship Amendment Bill is not only talking about giving work permit, it is talking in terms of giving citizenship to Hindu Bangladeshis. Now, you are not addressing this question, and you are becoming very revolutionary in terms of speaking against work permit. That position needs to be made very clear.
Silarito, please respond. There is a question to you from Akhil Ranjan Datta.
Yeah, I know Akhilji is for which groups he is talking about. Before I answer this question, I just want to get back to one example.
ASU is also talking about, AGP is also talking about, 26 ethnic organizations are talking about. It's not only Akhil Ranjan Datta is talking about.
Yeah. I'll come back to this question again. Just give me a few seconds to do something. That we don't have a work permit system in India at this moment, but we find a lot of Bangladeshi companies, they are having branch offices in Assam and many parts of the country. And look at these branch offices, they don't employ the local population, they bring Bangladeshi from Bangladesh, and they get the employment here in India with long-term visa. Either the visa is tourism visa or business visa. And these people are staying in Assam and other parts of the country for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years and 5 years. And they are involved in many jihadi type activities. A similar activity was just found out when Mausumi Das of Karimganj was kidnapped and taken
but
to
you are
Bangladesh.
Not answering my question. You answer my question.
See, so what I am saying is, in the absence of work permit, these people are getting long-term visa and creating a huge law and order situation in the northeast and Assam. So therefore, work permit will be a problem in the future. Regarding the question we put up to me, citizenship amendment bill not concerning just Assam, it is concerning the entire country, and the country will take the call protecting Assam. That is for sure.
Absolutely. Now, Mr. Prafulla Kumar Mohanto, you know, the government of India is pushing hard with the Act East policy. You know, the government of India is pushing the Act East policy. They want trade and business to develop with Bangladesh, with Myanmar, with Thailand, with entire ASEAN nations. But Bangladesh is a very key player. Now, when we have to push the Act East so hard, do you think that will complicate the issue? If we look at it from, there will be a lot of movement of people to and fro.
No, this is not going to complicate these things, because there is some restriction. Trade channels are also open in during our period also when we rule Assam, in the Karimganj sector and Mankasar sector and etc. That maybe there is a law to regulate it.
Yeah.
Therefore, illegal activities cannot be took place, and it is depend upon the law imposing authority. If they act properly, then it may not going to create any problem. It will be going to help to develop the trade and the communication. Therefore, noticed or this policy is all right, but in ground level it should be enforced strictly.
Absolutely. At this point, I'd like to thank you, Mr. Prafulla Kumar Mohanto, for speaking very, very clearly, for clarifying the AGP's position and your personal position very, very clearly without any kind of ambiguity. Mr. Jamaino Matho, you know, basically I'm still not clear. I mean, what are you basically saying, whether the work permit can be looked upon as a regulation, which you are talking about? You are laying a lot of emphasis on regulation of people, regulation of migrant workers. So can we take work permit, I mean, as a regulation? What do you think?
See, for more than 3 to 4 decades, many organizations have agitated over the fact that government has not been doing anything to address the issue of illegal immigration in the state of. And in spite of the intermittent upheavals and agitations in the state, successive governments has not taken the matter seriously. So as far as regulation is concerned also, that has not been taken from, it has not been taken appropriately from the part of the government. So now if we are opening up this idea, you know, if we talk about trans-border relations and all that, and bringing about people from other countries to this part of the country, when, you know, this issue has not been addressed appropriately for so many years. Now, how do we ensure that this work permit, which is going to be introduced, or the idea of introducing work permit, is going to work in the state of Meghalaya?
There is still doubt as to how it will work. Okay, Ranjan Datta, your last words, because this issue is getting very interesting with this suddenly coming up of this renewal of this idea of work permit.
See, because you have mentioned about the EPW article that I have written, and I have mentioned that it's not only me. There are many people who are talking about work permit in a very particular context, because you do not have the extradition treaty, and you cannot keep all detected foreigners in a detention camp. It is only in that context that I have also talked about work permit, but it is conditioned by, the condition is that NRC to be corrected, NRCP has to be prepared, and the whole idea of, you know, amending this citizenship with the objective of granting citizenship to the Bangladeshis has to be withdrawn. So it is conditioned by, also conditioned by, you know, having proper international, you know, border being protected. Only in that context I have mentioned about it, and I stand by it.
You stand by it. Now, once again, Donald, your last words. I'll come to Jamaino. Donald, I mean, do you see do you think you will have to agitate? Because Mr. Conrad Sangma said that he will be having talks with all the stakeholders. There is no need to worry. He said it's just an idea and there is nothing to fear. He said that there will be talks. Donald.
You see, I want to rectify what I'm saying at first. What I'm saying is that work permit, I'm not saying fully that work permit should be granted to skilled, only in the skilled sector. What I'm saying is that the Ministry of Home Affairs issued employment visas only to those people who are professionals. However, with regards to the work permit that the Chief Minister is mooting, we do not fully understand whether he meant only the professionals,
right,
or he also includes the unskilled and the semi-skilled. With regards to the unskilled and the semi-skilled, I have said earlier that we oppose tooth and nail to
right.
that proposal, because apart from influx,
absolutely,
employment crisis will also be there.
Right.
So it's a big no from our union.
Big no. Chief
and
Minister
whatever
has
we have
to
to do,
clarify.
what we have done in the past,
Chief Minister,
in order to counter illegal immigration,
we
will have to do that.
Absolutely. Now, Jamaino, what does the UDP want? Talks with all the stakeholders before your alliance partner actually takes a decision, your government? Jamaino?
See, talks and deliberations have been going on.
Yeah.
I mean, across the table for so many times now.
Yes.
But we have not really looked at the ground level to see how this issue can be resolved. But I feel that this kind of an exercise should be there again, and if the government is really committed, and if we have a sincerity of purpose of doing things together,
yes,
I think we can work that out.
Now,
and especially now with all the different political parties coming together, I feel that we can think about what is the best way, the best solution to end this thing once and for all.
The impression I get, Jamaino, is that your party, the UDP, is not opposed to the idea of work permit. Jamaino?
No, we have to be realistic and we have to be logical. See, we cannot stop people from working in our state, and we cannot, other states also cannot prevent our people to work in their states, or when you talk about going to different countries and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But what we are trying to say is that there has to be a proper mechanism, there has to be proper regulations.
There has to be a proper mechanism.
Coming in
Bolin Bordeloy, there is need to treat very carefully, isn't it? There is need to move forward very cautiously.
Absolutely. In fact, we strongly opposed voluntary, regarding the work permit, and we'll stand by it, and we'll make sure that work permit, it never happens in Assam or even in Meghalaya.
The Congress stands by the total opposition to the work permit idea. Siladitya Deb, your last words. So, lot of ball is in the court of the BJP government. Assam government also has a role to play.
Look, it's a matter of time now, but when I visited Shillong last assembly elections, I saw wonderful people serving in the restaurants and hotels. They have good people as nursing in the hospital. So I think they have a lot of skilled people in Meghalaya. But because being close to the Bangladesh border, I don't know what is the compulsion. Maybe there is a lot of Bangladeshis now coming into the Garo side and the Jaintia side, and therefore they wanted to probably get some mechanism for finding out the agreements. But I think this will not be the correct way. That will not be the correct way. There should be some other mechanism to detect these people.
Yes.
And so that either they are pushed back or they are identified all across the country.
So, work permit not the correct way. That is what Siladitya Deb is saying. Akhilanjan Datta, last words. The ball certainly is in the court of the BJP government, both in Assam or in Meghalaya as well as the center?
The central government has to show its commitment, and central government is now run by BJP. And as I have said, that NRC has to be prepared in a correct way. The bill proposing for the citizenship, granting citizenship, Bangladesh has to be withdrawn, and safe international border has to be ensured so that no migration, further migration takes place.
The government, particularly the central government, must fulfill its commitment of preventing illegal migration into Assam and the northeastern region, and to detect and expel all those who have been found. But it is easier said than done for them. For that to happen, there has to be negotiations between India and Bangladesh and signing of an agreement to deal with this issue. On that note, we end this edition of Northeast Tonight. I thank all my panelists. Good night and goodbye.